Welcome to Learning Algebra with Ms. Rodriguez. By the end of this video, you will understand factoring a trinomial. So remember, a trinomial is a polynomial with three terms. Usually we will see them in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are just numbers. What we want to do is break this down into two smaller binomials so that we can have simpler ways of identifying solutions. This method will only work when the value of a is equal to 1. Otherwise, this method requires a few extra steps. So the way this works is you want to identify your a, b, and c in the trinomial. You want to list all of your factors of the c term. Then you want to find the pair of factors that add up to the b term. And we're going to insert those numbers into the factoring pattern. So this is best seen through 4 examples. There are essentially 4 combinations that we're going to see that affect this. So we want to find values of c, factors of c, that are going to add up to give you your b term. So you first do this by listing pairs that multiply to give you your c term. So 1 times 6 is a pair and 2 times 3 is a pair. We then want to identify which of these add up to give you 7. Well, 1 plus 6 gives you 7, so that is not going to work. But 2 times 3 gives you 5, so this option is going to work. So we're going to choose the 2 and the 3. So we are going to plug into the factoring pattern. So we're always going to break this up into 2 different parentheses. And this x squared essentially gets split up into just 1x in each parentheses. And now because we have a positive 2 and a positive 3, we're going to do plus 2 and plus 3. The way this gets complicated is when we start to introduce positive and negative numbers. So in order to help eliminate confusion, we can always identify that when this is a plus plus, our answers are going to be a plus plus. And this makes sense because when we multiply 2 plus numbers, we get a positive number, and when we add 2 positives, we get a positive number. So we want to look at the problem and identify what type of problem it is to help us identify what signs will go where. So I'm going to start off by writing my factoring pattern, splitting up my variables, and then identifying my numbers that multiply to give me 4. So numbers that give me 4 are 1 times 4, 2 times 2. Of these, I want to identify which ones add or subtract to give me my b term, my 3. Well, the only one that gives me 3 some way is 1 and 4, because 4 minus 1 gives me 3. If I tried to add it, it would give me 5, but because we want to think about positives and negatives, I can think of positive or addition or subtraction. So 1, 4 is going to be the one that we are going to choose. Now I need to figure out which one is going to get a plus and which one's going to get a minus, because we need to make these numbers multiply to give me a negative. Well, the only way to multiply to get a negative is if one of the numbers is positive and one of the numbers is negative. So I'm going to now identify which number is going to get the positive. Well, because my d term is a positive number, my 4, which is the larger number, needs to go with the positive. And now my smaller number goes with the minus. This guarantees that when I add them, I get positive 3, and when I multiply them, I get negative 4. So every plus minus problem will give you a plus minus in the parentheses. So again, we want to factor. So I want to fill in my parentheses for my factoring. So I'm going to have my 2 parentheses. I'm going to split up my variable x. Now this is a minus plus problem. So every minus plus problem is going to be super easy. They're both automatically going to get minuses on both, because that's how you can guarantee that two minuses give me a plus when we multiply and give me subtraction when we add them together. So now I need to figure out numbers that multiply to give me 15, but still add or subtract to give me 8. Well, 15 is 1 times 5, 15, and 3 times 5. Well, 3 times 5 works because they add up to give me 8. So 3 and 5 go into the parentheses. My last combination is going to be a minus minus problem. So every minus minus problem is going to be very similar to my plus minus problem, in that one of them is going to be a plus and one of them is going to be a minus. In this example, we want our bigger number to go with a negative number. So again, we're going to list factors of our C term. So 1 and 8 are factors, 2 and 4. And then I want to identify which ones add or subtract to give me 2. Well, 2 and 4 are the only possibilities. So I just need to decide which one is going to go with a negative. Well, my B term is a negative, so my bigger number is going to go with the negative. This guarantees that when I add these two numbers together, it will give me a negative 2. In my last example, I want to recall that my A has to equal 1 in order for this to work. So in example 3, I do not have an A equal to 1. I have an A equal to 6. So I want to try and make this A turn into 1 by seeing if there's a greatest common factor. So in this case, I do have a GCF. My GCF is 6. So this means that I can take out my GCF. So I'm going to have 6x squared plus 11x plus 18. So now I actually want to factor just the inside portion, because I've made that inside portion A equal to 1, so I can factor it like I just did in my examples. I notice that this is a plus problem, so this is going to turn into x plus, and I just need to figure out the numbers that multiply to give me 18. So 18 is 2 and 9, and I quickly notice that 2 and 9 do add up to give me 11, so these are automatically the two numbers that go in the parentheses. However, I do need to drop down the 6 to be a part of my final answer because of the GCF. So this is factoring with the trinomial. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow educators or students.